Hey everyone, so I'm excited to introduce you to this exercise today. Many of you do know this already. We've gone through this before, but this is the get up exercise. Some of you know it as the Turkish get up, very common under that name. Today we're going to just be focusing on the very first portion of the get up to elbow, with even including one variation in here. The reason I love this exercise so much, as you can see, there's a ton going on. When we're talking about shoulder control, when we're talking about shoulder blade control, uh, those two things need to happen in tandem. The sequencing needs to be correct. And what you'll notice here is that the entire body really is kind of twisting and turning underneath a stable shoulder and a vertical arm. So this is all about shoulder neuromuscular control, all about scapular neuromuscular control as well. So let's just go ahead and rewind a little bit and talk about what's going on here. As you get into position, that kettlebell or that weight is going to be off to the side, and then you're going to pull it onto your chest. Now, when you press it vertically, make sure that that shoulder stays resting against the floor. Many of you, when you push that weight toward the ceiling, that shoulder is going to come forward off of the floor. Just go ahead and take a moment to set that shoulder back and rest it on the floor. The shoulder is vertical. The gaze is right at the weight or right at the kettlebell. Make sure that your gaze stays always focused on that weight. The wrist is also in a strong position as well. The wrist is straight across, and you're gripping the kettlebell or the weight firmly. Remember, whatever the grip takes seriously, the shoulder takes seriously. If your grip is loose, your shoulder is not going to take this motion as seriously as well. Now, we want to focus on keeping the same side leg in position. You're going to keep that same side foot flat because you're going to push forward forcefully with that leg as you roll onto your elbow. You'll see in this position here, a lot has happened. Okay, the gaze is still right there at the weight. The shoulder, don't worry about keeping the shoulder vertically so much as you do continuing to reach toward the ceiling. This is going to ensure that with every repetition that arm stays vertical. Everything has rotated underneath a stable shoulder, and we're even getting stability and control through the shoulder on the opposite side simply because we've rolled up onto that forearm. So let's take a look at a few reps here and even press into that variation that I talked about. So push through that hip forcefully, roll up onto that opposite side forearm, keeping the gaze on the weight and keeping that arm reaching for the ceiling. So the next variation of this is we're actually going to get some core stability here. We're going to get the hip involved and press up off of the floor. So now there's even more neuromuscular control and core stability going on throughout the entire system simply by raising that hip off the floor. You are going to repeat this exercise for 5 repetitions on each side. If there's one side in particular that we're spending more time with that needs a little bit more work, you'll want to start with that side, then go to the side that maybe doesn't need quite as much work, and then go back to the side that we're really trying to get control of. So I hope you enjoyed that. Try it out. Let me know what you think. As always, reach out with your questions and observations. And thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.